The Big E, and last I left off, I got the saucer attached to the secondary hull, and this is one of those kits that are just absolutely perfectly balanced. I mean, with no aid of hold it up or anything, it actually sits on the table by itself. It's just absolutely amazing. If you ever build one and you see it the first time, it's absolutely just insane. But anyway, a piece of marvel engineering. But where I left off is, after I got the saucer attached, I got to go back in and probably paint a couple of areas. I think there's a few spots on the nacelles that I overlooked when I was spraying it. But anyway, that's what I'm going to try to do today. I want to try to get the rest of the base coat painted. Make sure I got all the little, if I need to touch up anywhere with the base coat. And then I'm going to start adding the little parts, like the part that goes on top of the saucer and the intercoolers and a few things I got to paint. But one thing I want to do is I want to try to get the shuttle bay on. I want to get that all taken care of because I want to get rid of my napkin there. Make sure I didn't, dislodge the shuttle, which, there's probably a good chance, if I shoved it in there, I could have probably knocked it off. Anyway, I need to check that, make sure it's there. But everything works, so we'll try to show that later on. But anyway, it's just one of them Marvel kits that, sits by itself and just a excellent engineering. But anyway, I got to add some more. I got to start adding the parts, and then we'll, I need to wipe it down because you can see some of my little fingerprints from having dirty hands, which I should probably wear gloves when I paint, but it just happens that way. But anyway, we will continue on with the Big E very, very soon. The last stand Camaro, last I left off on that, and it's boring episode, is I have been cutting masking tape, and I got everything covered. And if I got anything that's missed, and it's probably going to be like the edges here, I'm just going to paint over it. And then I'll go in with a brush, and then I'll trim if it's necessary. But anyway, I think that's... anyway, they have, especially when they paint, they have overlap too. But anyway, pretty much most of the whole car is covered. I got the tail lights, the sides, everywhere. And then I need to... It's really ready to paint, but I got to go in with Mr. Cleaner here. If you can see the little residue, I got to go in and try to get the rest of that off and get that clean. Hopefully, I don't think I have to sand or put a little primer on. I'm gonna try to just go ahead and paint straight on the plastic. I think it should work out just fine. But anyway, I just got to go in and burnish a few of some of the stuff you can't really tape. But it's just odd shapes, and you're trying to burnish it down. But anyway, we're gonna go with it. So that is where I stand on the last stand Camaro, and then I need to wrap that up with tape, and then we can start that. We'll probably get that painted next weekend, but I want to get the red one painted probably this week if I can, so I can let it sit and dry, because I'm going to do about 2 or 3 coats on it, and just let it sit rest this week drying as it is painted. The convair, I did take Mr. Tulip here, and I kind of omitted a piece. There's a clear part that goes here for the little bridge dome. That's what I call it, but I added an LED to it, and I was going to put like a wiggly eye over it, but I went ahead and tulip the around the base here. I need to do one more round just to give it leveled. I think it worked out just great. So it basically, you got the engine lit and you got the bridge lit too. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'd like to get it primered, and I like to start painting it too, because I think I'm just in the mood to paint. The Mako Franklin. So I got the nav lights on. I haven't done anything else. I actually went back in and masked off a few things with the liquid mask. And speaking of that, they have a new item out. That is the Molotow masking pen, which is basically a paint pen with masking fluid. And the only thing I was really sold on this is it's refillable. I didn't know that at all when I was reading about it online. So I don't know about the small one. I got the small tip, which is like 2mm, I think. So I can't wait to try that out. I'm looking forward to, because sometimes you have to use a brush, for example, or a toothpick or whatever, to get in some place. And you still have to, but I think that might work out for, little windows and everything. So anyway, I'm going to try that out, and hopefully we'll see how well that works out. And it may be good for like, canopies, airplanes and all that. So anyway, looking forward to the Molotov paint pen / mask. And on the Mako Franklin here, I went ahead and I kind of frosted one of the nacelles here, and that's just a little bit of sandpaper, and I dipped it in clear orange. And where's Mr. Light here, if I can do it? Come on, there we go. I just did 2 blinking lights and 1 solid light. And once you get the fan blades on and the end cap, I think it'll look like it's somewhat, not really spinning, well, kind of spinning and pulsating. I think that's, very, very simple. I don't really want it to go completely all the way around, and, it's just a very simple light. I think that'll work out just fine on the nacelle. So I'm looking forward to trying to get the other one done, and then I need to just get in the mood and put the lights in, because I got to put all the I'm going to do simple LEDs where it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 in here, just to light up the windows, just like I did on the Big E. But anyway, there is where I stand on that. The up next for the build for others, going to build the IM99 Bomarc, and I'm looking forward to that. We're going to actually build this box stock, and we're going to paint it that color, which is basically, I was told off-white. I'd say more of a, white gray, if I had to guess. But anyway, we'll dive into that once we get to the painting stage. But anyway, I've never built one. I don't even know if I even have one of these kits. Who knows? Anyway, it looks, and it's a reissue, but I think it's one of them unique model kits. But anyway, we're looking forward to it, and I'll probably start this either tomorrow or, hell, I mean, start later today. Who knows? We'll just see how time works out. But anyway, that's what I've got going on today. I'm getting ready to start the IM99. The Franklin is getting its lights. The last stand Camaro getting a lot of tape. And we got the saucer on the Big E. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.